Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Mufar Morali. I'm a 22 years young transgender woman from Tel Aviv, Israel, and I make mostly transgender related content here on my YouTube channel. So if that's something that's interesting to you, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get right into today's video. So as you all can see from the title, I'm going to tell you a story time, a crazy one that happened to me like 4 months ago, I think, and it was when I took progesterone. I link the videos right up here, but I started to have very sore breasts because of the fact they took a high dose of estrogen and also progesterone on top of that. So that made my boobies to hurt really bad, and I was afraid, you know, because you always should check your health if you feel something is wrong. So I went to schedule a meeting with the breast doctor, and well, it didn't go as planned, to say the least, because I'm a trans woman, and a lot of breast doctors and generally the medical world doesn't know how to handle trans people very well. Like, not all of the doctors, but many of them doesn't really know how to treat us as the people who went from one gender to another. So going to the breast doctor, you really need to go to someone that knows how to handle trans people, and mine didn't know. So if you want to hear the full story, please stay and watch until the end and hear this crazy story time that happened to me with the crazy breast doctor. No shame here. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I literally had pain in my boobs because I took a big amount of estrogen. You can see that in my previous HRT updates, like not the last one that I did a month ago. Look at this one that was like 3 months ago and you'll understand everything. And also watch the last one, because there I talk about the effects that the progesterone gave me and why I stopped taking it. So you can get a better picture if you watch those two videos. I link them also down below, so you can just click and watch them right after this. But my boobs was painful because of that, because of my hormone intake. And my anxious mind immediately went to breast cancer, because I thought to myself, oh my god, I'm taking these big amounts of estrogen now and I'm taking progesterone and my boobs are painful, and what if I have a breast cancer? And I was just so anxious and afraid. This wasn't even funny. So I immediately booked an appointment with a breast doctor, which I've never been to before, because I am 22 years young or old, I don't know, whatever you want, but I feel young, you know. But in my endocrinologist clinic, like in my gender clinic, they only recommend to check your breast and do this breast cancer checkup after you're 25. Like generally here in Israel, I don't know how it is in other countries, but here in Israel where I live, they recommend you to check your breasts after 25, and I'm only 22, but because my boobs were so painful, I just had to check them immediately. So I scheduled, and it's my first time going to a breast doctor. So I was a little bit afraid of what's going to happen. Also, I thought always in my mind like about the moment that I would have to confront the doctor that I am a trans woman and that I take estrogen and progesterone at the time to match my desired gender. Okay, so I didn't thought too much about searching for a breast doctor that has like experience with trans women. I just thought that all boobs are the same and that he can just check me out without any problem. But wait, let's just start from the beginning. I came to this clinic, it's here in Tel Aviv. First of all, I was sitting in the waiting room and there was this old lady, and here in Israel we have to put face mask, like the corona face mask, inside like hospitals and clinics, and it makes very much sense as well. Like outside and in public places we don't have to put mask on, but anywhere that's medical, like clinics and stuff, we have to. So I forgot to put my face mask on, so this old lady that sits like few chairs near me in the waiting room, she told me like in a not very nice way to put on the mask. She was like very mad about it, and I was like, okay, I'm putting my mask, sorry. I literally forgot because I don't go much to the clinic and stuff, so I forgot that you even need to put the mask on. So I put on my mask. Then I keep on waiting to my appointment for the breast doctor to call me from the room. And then I was thirsty, so I just like took off the mask for a second to drink from my water bottle, because you can do this. Even in the middle of the pandemic, you could always take off your mask for a second to drink water, right? So I just took it off for a second, opened my bottle, and then she just screams at me like, what are you doing? Put on your mask. And then I was like so mad, because like, don't you have some life? Like, why do you sit there looking at me and trying to guard me like a little child? Like, I know I need to put a mask, I just want to drink some water. So then my Moroccan side went up and they started to get some heat in my body, and then I was screaming back at her. I was like, what are you talking about? I just want to drink some water. Anyways, then my time to go into the doctor came, so he called me and I came to his room. I sit down and he asks me how am I feeling, what's happened, why do I came to see him and everything. So then I told him that I'm a trans woman and that I take progesterone and estrogen to feminize, and that I go through the HRT for a few years now. And then his face turned like white. I kid you not, like his face literally became white. Like all of his face expressions changed in a second. He went from like being nice and okay to being like, he just didn't know how to handle the fact that I was trans, and I'm so surprised by that, because this clinic is really in the middle of Tel Aviv, which is a very open city with like many trans people and LGBT people and all kinds of people. I talked about this in my previous video as well. I linked this right here, how is it like to be trans in Israel. But yeah, it was just like crazy to me that he was so embarrassed by that fact that I was trans woman. Or maybe it was because he knew that he needed to check me, and then he thought to himself some strange thoughts. I don't know what went in his head in that moment. But anyways, after I told him this scary information, he got back to himself and he was like, okay, so let me check you up, go onto this bed, take off your shirt and I'll check you. So I went to the doctor bed and like took off my shirt, and oh my god, I get so many notifications. Let me turn this off for a second. So as I said, I went to the bed and took off my shirt, and then he looked at my boobs. He looked so surprised at first glance, like, because he saw that it's not implants, but at the same time they're so big and like they're like just like a cis woman breast. So he looked very confused, like the look on his face. I wish I could take a picture of that and show it here. It was so funny, like how did she do this? Like, how does she have breasts? Anyways, I've never been to a breast doctor, but I have the feeling that if the doctor needs to check up on a woman, even like the vagina doctor, I don't know the name of it in English, but if they need to check on a woman body part, they will be like very, you know, like showing some coldness towards that situation, so everybody will feel comfortable. They try to look professional, but with him, he did try to be professional and everything, but at the same time I got the feeling that he was like very confused, and when he looked at me at my boobs and like touched and did the thing to check up if I have something, he was very like uncomfortable in a weird way. I feel like because I told him earlier that I'm trans, he told me to put on back my shirt, then he went to his desk, and then I came to sit in his desk again, and he gave me the conclusion of the appointment, and I asked him, so what do you think? Do I have something? Is everything okay? But then the craziest thing happened. He told me, listen, if I'll be honest with you, I've never checked on a trans woman, and I don't really know what to tell you, and I can't give you the answer. You need to go to see another doctor and do an x-ray of your breast, like röntgen, you know, this when they film it from the inside. But what he told me, it sounds very normal, right? Trust me, if you have seen his look on his face the whole time, all this appointment, you would understand like how weird this situation was, even for me. Like, I don't care to show my boobs, really my boobs, I love them so much, and always I talk about this on my channel and how proud I am of my body for getting such a good results from HRT. On top of that he's a doctor and this is his work, and it's nothing to do with sexual stuff or embarrassing. He sees so many boobs every day just to check them, so I really didn't feel triggered by that. I felt very comfortable with the situation, but him and the way he talked to me and all the vibe he gave me was just very not trans friendly, and I felt very weird and like, ugh, after that appointment. So I went out. I remember opening the door after hearing everything that he told me, that he can't really treat me and he doesn't know, but it looks fine and I need to go to another doctor. I went out of his room like with this face, like my mind was like blowing off all this situation. I immediately called my mom and I was like, the craziest thing just happened to me. Yeah, this just really shows that even someone like me that's very open with their body can feel very uncomfortable in certain situations, even those with some doctors or someone that's doing only their work. I felt very uncomfortable also at the moments when my shirt was on, just because the vibe that it gave me, because I'm trans. So I really hope that they will bring some more trans educational, trans-friendly doctors to such a big city in Israel, to the center of Israel, because really we have so many LGBT people and trans people, and luckily I'm passable, so I didn't experience any misgendering or stuff like that. But I had the feeling that if some non-binary person or someone on the rainbow would come to this doctor, he would suffer much more. Probably he would misgender him because he was like so old-minded person, and that's totally okay. We need those people too in the world, but we need to move on sometimes and to know how to treat the rest of the population, not only the majority. So since I stopped the progesterone, my boobs don't hurt anymore, and I also took a little bit of my estrogen. I also talked about that in my HRT update, but now my boobs feel just fine and they're looking great as always. So thank you, Jeans, and thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for the amazing DNA. Thank you.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and don't forget to check out all my socials. Everything is linked down below. I love you guys so much. Have a great week, great evening, and great morning. Bye guys, love you.